listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Mark and Ken.
What's up?
On episode 241 of the Shite Talk podcast show.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? We've already...
That is fantastic.
Yeah, every time we come on, we're doing episodes. I was like, we should now also preference how many episodes Ken has done on this podcast, because it's 241, but there's like, you came in on 114.
Yeah, so do the maths there.
Do the maths there. So that is 128.9.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know.
Someone correct us and just put the answer into the comments.
Yeah, somebody else put the effort in here and let us know.
Put the answer into a column, a comment section on the journal, right? And let us know which article you commented the answer in, and we'll point everyone to that.
And we'll go and find it.
Yeah, it'll be like a treasure hunt for all of us. I was talking to a lad and he regularly comments on the journal posts. So if there's something controversial that they're talking about, let's say travelers, for instance, just randomly pick one out, a random topic, or I don't know, politicians or whatever might be controversial they might be talking about, they take comments out. So people can make controversial comments on controversial topics. So what he does in order to get around this is he finds the next nearest article that he can comment on, comments on that about the article, and references where he's commenting from. It's just so he can make his controversial comment.
Yeah, I have a friend that does something similar.
Yeah. Wonder if it's the same person. Probably not.
Probably not.
But I thought that was ingenious. That is going above and beyond to make sure that your comment get read. I do love going on to these comment things. It's one of my favorite things. I always say this. Some people say never read comments. I'm addicted to comments. I'll spend like a good while reading comments.
Yeah, like I have the guy that I'm talking about, like, he literally will just, like, if something is like causing a lot of controversy, he'll just go on and he'll take the opposite stance. I've
seen it happen, like, especially around COVID was like the perfect time. Like, if you just like riling people up, you just go on there and you judge the mood of the comment section, and you just go against that mood just slightly, and just make little stupid comments that people will annoy people, and it's what's the world implode in front of you.
That's all you need to do.
Yep, and people are tagging you in it, so you see the comments, because a load of comments come down. Like, people are just tagging people in and saying, "Oh, God bless," or whatever, and then there's like, so they want you to see their comments, so they tag you in it, so that's now you're winning. So as soon as someone tags you in a post, so that you see their post about what you're saying, you're like, "Oh, I've annoyed them now." The games have just begun. Your blood pressure.
Let's make this work. Your blood pressure is about to go sky high.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just think it's really interesting to just spend hours and then just reading pointless comments. Unfortunately, we only get Russian bots.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you going to say?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Must mean important.
Probably not.
We have a show today.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away from the saying, "Well, we have a very interesting show today, Ken."
We should have had a show yesterday.
We should have had a show yesterday. That's a different story for a different day. I was kind of nervous I might get a bit of noise pollution around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Came back to a load of cones outside my house, and I was like, someone's either dead or else, like, I don't know. There's a little council workers doing council work thing, which is just standing outside holding a shovel. I was like,
Looking into a hole.
Yeah, they look like they're gonna make noise. I was like, they were standing around there for so long. I was like, gee, I wonder if they're standing there and waiting for me ma to come out and say, lads, do you want a cup of tea or coffee?
Will she be the type?
She mentioned that she might. She's like, well, I offer them some tea. She would be the type.
Yeah, my ma is the type.
Yeah, your ma would go out with sandwiches as well.
Like my ma, my neighbor, well, not neighbor, like the guy across the road from where my mom and dad live, like their house burnt down.
Yeah.
And like my ma, I was in bed, I was asleep during all this. I still living at home, and I woke up and I was like, "What's all the fucking noise?" And came down to the kitchen, and there's like no mess, and there's like 30 firemen in my fucking kitchen.
You're like, what?
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And my ma was like, you need to go to the shop and get me like 5 sliced pans. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, I'm making them all toast.
Toast? Like, Jesus Christ. I want them to stay longer. I'm burning down the house, Ken.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? And then she's like, the house across the road burnt down. I was like, why are they here? Like,
how did they end up here?
Yeah,
waiting on toast.
Yeah, my ma's like, I went over. I felt sorry for the young lad that was sitting at the gate, so I asked him if he wanted a bit of toast and a cup of tea. And she's like, and sure, then it was rude then not to ask the rest of them. I was like, there's like 30 of them. Like,
so now you have to go to the shops again. Here's the tenner.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, like.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I don't think she would be that bad. I don't think that they got a cup of tea off them. I think she was told in some uncertain terms that they offered them fucking tea that they'd never leave. So the girls were like, "No, don't offer them." And we went past that stage, man.
Let them all fuck off.
Let them all fuck off. Make me a cup of tea. Every start with me.
Charity begins at home.
Yeah. They'll be playing FIFA now. Fuck off until like he comes in that door. I'm not really like that. Anyway, we're going to move on to Ken. Like, we are in a bit. This is very topical for Ken. He doesn't normally go this topical, but he's gone topical today, and he has a consumer thing about the very, very expensive sausage roll.
Yeah.
Everything is going up. Fuel's now over €2. The coffees are, you're going to get a tax on coffee cups. Like, everything's gone up. It's gone mad.
The whole world has gone arseways.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's going up, and we did a show about it last week. This is going to be probably something that we touch on from now until we just get used to the pricing, and everything starts leveling out again. So until then, we're going to be talking about it. Then we're going to be talking about. I cannot believe this story's not an idiot of the week, but a girl tries to sue her, or tries to claim off her boyfriend's car insurance thing for something normally they don't have to pay out on. But somehow she manages to get off idiots a week, so it probably worked for her.
It definitely worked for her.
We'll also be talking about stags. Ken got married, and his stag was after his wedding. So I don't know how many of stags are like that, but his was. And he wasn't even there.
I also wasn't there.
So we'll talk about that story, and I'll tell the people my ideal stag. Ken's going to actually first say what he thinks my ideal stag was, and I'll say what I said my ideal stag was.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, we're saying with the kind of topical stories because we will be talking about Star Wars and Stranger Things. There's a few stories around Stranger Things, and I haven't watched the latest episode of Obi-Wan, which will be episode 4 when this comes out. So we won't be talking about any of the 3 other episodes. More just generally talking about maybe Disney Plus, and they're leaking an episode per week, and if we're okay with that. And Well, Ken, like, despite being a stereotypical, like, if you were to imagine an older Star Wars fan, like, Ken would fit the bill. Ken looks like an older Star Wars fan. He wears t-shirts with, like, images on them. He has tattoos, and he has a mohawk. Ken looks like a Star Wars fan. He does not like Star Wars, despite embodying a Star Wars fan.
Star Wars stole my thing.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Did you not just watch it as a kid, or was it just
No.
like I see you missed out on it then?
I watched like maybe 20 minutes of a fucking Star Wars movie, and I was like, "This is shite."
Which one was it though? You remember
The very, very first one.
All right,
Start at the beginning, Mark. Start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning on episode 6.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was, and I was like, "This is shite."
It probably was outdated by the time.
But that doesn't even bother me. Like, I like old movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe just it wasn't your cup of tea.
I was just like, this is balls.
Yeah, like I grew up around. All my friends were really big into Star Wars, and I liked them. They're good movies and all that, but I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan. Not as much as my friends are. They embody a different type of Star Wars fan. Which we might talk about later on, because you know what, there's only so much you can talk about when one person doesn't like Star Wars. Ken's just gonna nod politely and say, "Yeah, that's cool, Mark."
That's cool and all, but I fucking hate Star Wars.
Yeah, I hate Star Wars, and I didn't choose this topic, so you know what, this is on you to talk about it.
Entertain me, Mark. Entertain me.
Entertain the listeners as well, because you don't know if they're not into Star Wars. Imagine most of them are. Like,
I'm probably in the minority here. Really.
Yeah. So we will start with the very topical inflation busting. Not inflation busting, just inflation on this very expensive sausage roll. Now, is this sausage roll expensive because of everything going up, or is there like some reason why this is costing this much? Was it like licked by like a pop star, or was it made by the Queen?
It doesn't really say, but it's just like enormous sausage roll from what I'm gathering. Like, well, how much would you? Now it's just one sausage roll. It's just a single sausage roll. How you strike me as somebody who likes sausage rolls.
I do like sausage rolls, but I would never, like, when I'm at a deli. Like, I always see people like this, and they're like, "I'll throw a sausage roll in there." I'd never pick it from a deli. Like, I do, they're really good. A bit of red sauce now. A nice hot sausage roll.
If you were to buy one from a deli, how much would you be prepared to buy one for?
Like, I imagine now they must be around 80 cents to €1 for one. Like, because everything's gone up. Like, I would have said maybe 60 cents a sausage roll. Maybe they were always €1. I don't know.
Right, this is a pub in the UK, right? And first of all, we should point out that the national hourly minimum wage in the UK is $6.83 an hour.
Yeah.
Right, and this sausage roll costs $7.50.
Okay.
So you have to work for over an hour on minimum wage before you can even buy one sausage roll in this pub.
Dude, this is a weird way of calculating like wages per capita in a country. Because I do this with beer sometimes. So I all the time. No, if I go to a country and I figure out what its hourly wage is, and then I figure out what its price of beer is, then I go, oh, this is how affordable this place is to live and work. For instance, in Ireland, generally the minimum you're probably going to go, I think it's 10 something, is 10.35 or something like that. This is the minimum you can pay someone to work in Ireland. Most beer is around 5.30, so you can get one on a glass probably beers for every hour you work, minimum wage in Ireland. So you might say that, or most people are on €12, so you get 2 beers an hour. So Australia is, I think it's around $23 an hour, and I think it's about $11 a beer. So once again, you can get 2 beers, but you'll probably have a little bit more change over in Australia. And I think like in Spain, I think the minimum wage is like €6. I think it's around €6 minimum wage in Spain, but their beers are like €2. So in Spain, minimum wage, you can get 3 beers. So you're better off in Spain than you are in Australia and Ireland. And that's how I figure out how great a place it is to live.
That's how Mark calculates inflation.
Yeah, that's how I calculate like based on the affordability to live in an area is how many beers can I buy with 1 hour's work. So this is like I can kind of understand the sausage roll is kind of an interesting way of measuring it. That like you can get less than I definitely wouldn't live there. Like how much is the price of beer?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it just says like even Greg's, the like pastry kind of shop.
Yeah, is it a Greg's? Because I've heard.
No, it's just a pub. Like, but Greg's are like mounting at them. So like, what the fuck?
Oh, so Greg's found out how much they're charging for sausage. How much do Greg's charge?
Greg's like is fuck all, I think.
Yeah, they're a huge chain. They probably mass produce them. This could be a homemade sausage roll. Like his wife is probably out the back fucking sweating bullets making these sausage rolls.
So Greg's charge $2.50 for a sausage roll with an omelette.
With an omelette. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. So you can get like if it's £6 for an hourly wage, you can get 2 omelettes and 2 sausage rolls with your hourly or wage.
Yeah, so like $7.50 is a bit fucking
outrageous.
Outrageous.
I did pay
a sausage roll on its own is $1.25 in Greg's.
$1.25.
Yeah.
So and this one was how much? 7 something.
$7.50.
$7.50. So you can get 7 pretty much. Probably not 7.
You can get 6.
6, yeah. Sausage rolls for your Greg sausage rolls, the famous sausage roll for that. They're just 1. That is insane.
And they're probably the pub ones are probably smaller as well. Greg's sausage rolls are pretty big.
There is a place in town that their burgers cost £12 on their own.
Are they massive though?
They are massive, but they're not worth £12. Well, back then, like they're probably worth £12 now, but like back then, I was like my jaw was on the ground. When I got this fucking, it's like how much? And I was like, they're only getting that away with that because it's late at night and everyone's pissed drunk.
Yeah. Some places do increase their prices after a certain time.
Oh, you can increase it at anything. People just now pay by car. Go beep. Okay, that was £100.
Here is your little sausage roll. Bye.
Yeah, the same place me and my friends were like fucking got really we started chatting away and we're so engrossed in this conversation. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning and they're like, guys, can you just please leave? And we're like, oh yeah, no worries, man. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. And there's a guy who passed out beside us and was sleeping on the table next to us. And we didn't even know who he was. And they're like, hey, you forgot your friend. And I was like, he's your friend now. And then we walked out the door. We didn't say we didn't know him. We didn't say he was there. We don't know what they did with him. Maybe they gave him a job. They're probably like, your friends just left you.
Yeah, your friends are all gone. And he's like, oh, bastards.
I don't have friends. Fuck you.
I work here.
I work here now. Takes the brush. Starts sweeping. Yeah, that's insane. And has the company came out and said, like, all right, this is why it costs this much. My wife is out there sweating bullets making these pastries. Like, she deserves some profit.
And like they haven't said anything about it. Like it's literally their advertising thing. They have a big board outside that says sausage roll $7.50 each.
Yeah, like it's some places it's crazy like what you can charge for. I remember even when I was in college, you could go to a butcher's who did a breakfast roll, and it was like $5 with a can of Coke. and then the centre just down the road, like thing was six something for a chicken roll. You can go near the breakfast hall, that's why you wouldn't go near buy there. But like, it's like you don't get anything with this.
Yeah, it's been. Like, I don't know. Like,
Was
like,
there
there's
any
no.
that
There's no added, like nothing extra with it. Like it's just the fucking sausage roll. There's no like you'd imagine it was like a sausage roll and a pint. No, it's just a sausage roll.
and it's one like, and the thing about sausage rolls is you can't just have one because
Yeah,
they're
so
not big enough to fill you, but they put the taste on you. They put the hunger on you, and you're like, oh, that was good, and then you're like, you want another one. Like whenever I do see people ordering sausage rolls, they order like 3 to 6 would be the average serving of
yeah.
sausage.
Like when I was in secondary school, I used to have 6 sausage rolls every day.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think 3 to 6 is the average serving. I remember I was in a place and there's this guy having an argument with a girl because he didn't know how many sausage rolls he wanted, and he's like, he just asked for a serving. He's like, just a serving of sausage rolls, and she's like, how many? She goes, oh, whatever a serving is, and she goes, we don't have an exact number on servings. So how much people want. And this went on. This went back and forth. It's like somebody, oh, I'll give you 6. I was like, it's either 3 or 6. So if you're hungry, get fucking 6. If you're not that bothered, get 3. But he didn't think it through. He didn't think about, oh, how much of them do I actually want?
Yeah, I hate when people do stuff like that. Like you see, something that really irritates me. I really, 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 really like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah.
Right. And
It's
I
probably the
remember
only thing you like more than McDonald's. It's like it'd be very hard for you to pick.
Krispy Kreme and McDonald's out together would be amazing. But anyway,
Yeah, I think I know what your stag would be.
when Krispy Kreme opened first in like Blanchardstown, and it was a mad queue for it, and you're like fucking waiting in the queue, and everybody's going, I want, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I get up and I'm just like, this is what I want.
Yeah, because
And
you've
the guy-
been there before. People are like, oh, I heard Krispy Kreme is really good. What do you get? Because you know when you go to like something for the first time, you don't know how
so then
anything works.
get the selection box. Don't start picking your own donuts. Just
You don't
get
know.
the fucking selection box.
When I was there, I think I went there a year after it was open. So they had a person there ready to like get first timers. They're like, all right, here you go. There's a selection box here. You can get a box for I think 11 quid, or individual donut was more expensive than the if you were just buy 11. So you're worth your while. If you're 3 with you, buy a box between you. Get the selection, but the glazed are popular. And he's like, these are the most popular ones. These are originals. Here's the selection. So like, here you go. And he talked us through the process. I felt very safe in his arms.
I always get irritated when I go and people are like, or like either they're like, I don't know what ones I want, or they're like, what way does it work? How many
Ken's
do you
like
get?
in the queue. Noob.
Yeah, I'm like, just get 12 and then get the fucking extra 12 for fucking 6 quid and fuck off.
Well, now they have in Krispy Kreme, in fairness to them, they have a guy there. They have a guy, Ken, don't worry. They have a guy there to help new people through this difficult process of making their mind up. But yeah, no, everyone's been there where you're really hungry, you're really looking forward to something. You've been there loads of times. You know the fucking story. And they're like, oh, so what do you do? Do you do like burgers? And they're like, no, we're a chicken place. And you're like,
we got chicken.
and that's
do
about
you have
it.
any beef? No, chicken.
What's your vegetarian option?
Chicken.
Chicken.
The bun.
The bun. We are a chicken grill. We grill chicken.
Yeah. I'll have the vegetarian option. Here is some corn. Fuck off.
Here's some seeds. We feed our chicken.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, it is very annoying. Was there anywhere you've ever been where you were like outraged by the price of something? You're like, I'm not paying for this.
Not really.
All right. So
I kind of like look into shit before I go places.
yeah, so you've never got to place gone, this is outrageous for...
Like I've never done that stupid thing that people do where they go somewhere and they order something like say like, people always for some retarded reason do it in fucking Temple Bar. You go and you order a pint and then you're oh my god, a pint is €12. Yeah, knew that. Could have told you that.
Well, it isn't €12. It's like 6
Yeah,
something.
but you know, like
it's more
fucking whatever.
expensive. Yeah. I was in the garage somewhere in Ireland, and I was holding a really hot cup of coffee, and you know where you're holding it from the very end, so you don't burn your hand because you can't hold it in the middle, and you're changing hand every now and again because it's so hot, and your one was at the till having an argument with a girl about over the price of fuel because they're just brought in, they took some tax off, or they took away the VAT. So prices were meant to go down. And she was giving out why weren't prices went down. But she'd paid for the plus fuel. And so obviously she's paid for the more expensive fuel. And then your one was trying to explain, so she goes, oh, you put the plus fuel in. She goes, yeah, I know we did. But why hasn't prices went down? That's outrageous. How much was the price of the fuel? And she gave her what the litre was, but she goes, you paid it. She goes, I thought the VAT was meant to come in. Why wasn't it cheaper? And it's just like, because you paid for the expensive fuel.
Yeah, like fuck off.
Now I need second degree burns on my hands. I was just like, just let me put my coffee down on the ground. And there's like everybody in the queuers was like, please tell her to fuck off. Everyone's just like, is waiting on her. Yes, fuel is expensive. Well done. There's probably loads of examples. I would be one where I'm like, Jesus, shit, that's expensive. But generally, I'd pay. I'd be too embarrassed to be like, that's outrageous in front of them. I'd definitely go back to my table or go back to wherever I am with out of earshot of the person who just sold me that really overpriced item of whatever, and give a fuck about it. But like to the customers, to the person who sell me its face, Jesus, no, I wouldn't. I like the motto of that. Like, did you ever see people just absolutely rip people a new one over like the price of something? Like,
yeah, and just the stupid thing is people always like rip into the person who has no say over how much things cost.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just literally work there. They do have no control over that price of that item.
Like, which is always annoying.
Yeah, that's probably a pet peeve of you.
Yeah, that really, really pisses me off.
Know what grinds my gears?
Yeah, because when you come into where I work and you give out about the fucking price of something, then I have to come up and deal with you, and I generally don't be very nice about it.
What's your go-to thing that you say?
I just keep repeating, you may talk to head office. Talk to head office.
Yeah.
And then they get really, really ticked, and then I'm like, do you want the phone number? And then they're like, I'm going to complain about you because you're not helpful. And I was like, do you want the phone number?
I was like, I can give you the phone number if that makes me any more helpful.
And then they're like, what's your manager's name? And I was like, hi.
I am the manager. I am the captain.
And they're like, I want to talk to the other guy. And I'm like, he's not here.
He's not here. It's his day off.
Yeah, it's just me.
He doesn't want
you have me, or you have me.
I can go get me again.
Yeah, I can turn around and put on a tie.
All right, he's gonna be 3 minutes getting here. Okay, so you're gonna have to wait for 3 minutes, and
he's gonna be really annoyed.
Yeah, he's like when I come back, I'm gonna be annoyed. So I'll get myself. Wait there for a few minutes. I'll make them wait for 3 minutes and come back and be like, "Hey, what's up? Ken just told me what you're saying. This is outrageous. I have no control over this. You have to go to head office."
Like it's always really, really irritating. And people give out about stupid fucking shit. Like there's this one fucking prick that comes in the whole time, and do you know the way like the European Central Bank, not even the Irish Central Bank, the European Central Bank, want to get rid of 1 cent.
Yeah.
So everything like rounds up. So if something's like 99 cent, when you go to pay for it, it's €1. Yeah. If you're due 99 cent back and change, you get €1. Right? So they're like rounding everything off. And there's this one fucking dickhead that always comes in. He will always purposely, if you go, because we know him, if he goes to an actual manned till, he'll get his exact change back. But he insists on going to the self scan so that he's like, he starts getting outraged. He's like, the machine stole my money. And you're like, what? It didn't give me back the correct change. Oh my God, it's 1 cent. Like, fuck off.
So like, yeah, do you not just carry around some change? And go, here you go.
It's just like, just fuck off. And I said to him one day, I was like, but if your change is 99 cents and it gives you back €1, do you give us back 1 cent? And he's like, that's not the point. Like, that is the point. That's where it balances, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah, just buy things that your change is going to be €1 back.
Yeah, you fucking knob.
Yeah, so I just think some people have nothing better to do.
That's completely what it is.
Yeah. You have a story about a girl claiming off her boyfriend's insurance.
Yeah.
What's this?
Have you ever made a car insurance claim?
No. Other people wouldn't have made them on me, but I've always been I was the one always at fault. So I've never actually had to take someone else's insurance.
It's generally because like a car has become damaged.
Yeah, generally like you smack into the back of them for doing something. Yeah.
So this woman claimed off her. I'm going to find out where it is. I think this is in America. Oh, of course it is.
Of course it is.
Yeah, this is in Jackson County, Missouri. Right. So this woman, she made a claim against her boyfriend's car insurance, for him and her were getting jiggy in the back of it, and she caught HPV off him. So she claimed off his car insurance, seeking compensation for where did she put it? Seeking compensation for the damages she received from their client. So the insurance company were like, "Well, fuck this! Like, we're insuring his car, not him. So fuck this." So they went off to court with it, and Jackson County Circuit Court ruled that the man was liable. The insurance company covered him, and that the woman should be awarded £4.1 million in compensation. So the insurance company obviously got pissy with this and lodged an appeal. So the appeals court ruled that no, the judgment was correct, but the amount that she should get was incorrect, and that she should actually get $5.2 million in compensation.
Lads, no one's gonna be wearing a condom if this gets out. You know, like this is just going to like skyrocket STI claims on Tinder dates alone. Like, here, I have an STI. I'll have sex with you, and we'll split it 60-40. We'll give you 60-40 to you. Like, you'll get 60, I'll get 40. 5 million.
Yeah, like that's just fucking mad to me.
But like you said, first of all, this is her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this isn't the first time that they had sex.
More than likely not.
So wouldn't they have to prove like they've only ever had sex in the car? That they have a weird car thing? I know some people who maybe, live at home might have to do this. I've heard stories of people breaking down in the woods because they left the lights on and they're getting jiggy with it, and they had to call a friend to go out and jump them. I've heard of that happening. So like it wouldn't put past me if that was the case, but surely the insurance company would be like how can they prove that they didn't like catch it last week, and like whenever they first had sex they would have probably had it at the start of their relationship, unless he's in the dirt.
There must have been some way to prove that. I don't know, but yeah, she got a fucking heap of money out of it.
Unless like he had to have done the dirt and then they having makeup sex and pass it on that way, like that. Like yeah, like it seems like a very hard thing to prove that it was in the car.
Like when I first read it, I was like, okay, there's a catch here somewhere, and then I was like, aha, the insurance company appealed it, and then it was like the appeals court ruled, yeah, the payment was wrong. She should get more.
Like yeah, like we were going into this when I first said it, I was like, oh, so she's an idiot of the week, and he goes, no, you were like, no, she won. So how can you call her an idiot? She got £5 million.
Yeah, she got 5 million for it.
So she was right to charge it. Like, how much of treatment will she now have to go through now?
Probably not much because HPV is just like, well, it's like it's herpes, but it's like a cold sore is HPV, like fucking warts are HPV, like antibiotic and it's gone, job.
Yeah, I guess so. So like, she gets. So next time if you catch a HPV virus, like you said, there's a cold sore or maybe a wart of your girlfriend, claim off the house insurance.
Yeah, and then you're grand then.
Or hotel insurance. You get millions.
Yeah, you get millions. Just fucking start suing everybody.
Pull that dodgy bitch in the club. Dodgy bitch in the club places are going to skyrocket. This is like great for them.
There's somebody out there who has recently become unemployed who should go off and pull some dodgy bitch and get loads of money.
I think his go-to is dodgy bitches. So
there you go. You should just start suing everyone.
He's probably more liable to pass it on to them than the other way around.
Well, it's win-win for him then, because if they sue him, he hasn't got a pot to piss in, so he's nothing to give them.
Yeah, I think it's more like, they'd have to probably sue off his insurance. Bring them to the car.
Yeah, sorted.
So, talking about STIs, we're now going to talk about stags. So, I guess we'll first talk about your stag, because this is the only person who's had a stag and whoever will have a stag on this podcast. Because I ain't getting married.
Well, we all said that.
Did you say that?
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. It sounds like a Ken thing to say. I ain't getting married. I'm having no fun in my life. And you weren't too pushed to having a stag either. So it surprised me.
Yeah, I wasn't present for it really.
We weren't present for it. You didn't ask for it, and you didn't tell us about your wedding. So we were like, do you know what? Fuck this snaky cow here, Ken, and we are gonna do our own stag, and we're not gonna even invite him. So we decided to get face masks and wear face masks of Ken and just go to a local pub and celebrate the stag in his honor.
And video call me.
And video call you while drunk. So it was very odd. This quiet pub, like in some back arse town of nowhere, which had about 4 people in it. Suddenly came in I think it was about 8 of us, all wearing your face. Honor. Like, whose stag is this? He's not here. Doing shots. Video called you. Complained to you about why didn't you have the stag, and then had an almighty hangover the next day.
Yeah, I remember that was fucking funny. That was.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck? You didn't have a stag. What's the point of getting married? I think it was where both were aiming at you.
I remember I got the photo first. I got a photo of my face everywhere, and then I got a video call. And I was like, "What's going on here?" And then I was in Vegas, and in Vegas you're buckled all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
so I was drunk, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And then it was like somebody suggested doing shots, and I was like, "Hang on, I have to find somewhere to get a shot." And they were like, "Too late."
Yeah, I actually, because I don't remember you drinking. I think you were, if I remember, you were on the street. So you were somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was just going into a Starbucks.
By any chance, do you have a shot of anything alcoholic? I am currently video calling my stag.
Yeah, this is Vegas. This is ridiculous. No alcohol in a fucking Starbucks in Vegas. Ridiculous.
I need to do a shot because apparently people are having a stag in my honor. So what was the whole idea of not having a stag? I guess you were keeping a secret, so I guess you couldn't have had a stag.
Yeah, we didn't want the whole kind of like fucking bother of having a proper wedding.
So yeah, was the
just
stag and the hens kind of like, oh, I couldn't be arsed having a stag, and she was like, I couldn't be arsed having the hens.
It wasn't even that. It was just like we couldn't be arsed having a wedding.
Yeah.
And then we're like, so let's just not tell anybody about it and just go and fucking get married and say nothing.
Yeah, because while this came up, I was at a stag over the weekend, and it first came up what our ideal stag. And this stag we just went to Cork, and one of the lads' family bought an island in the 50s in Cork. It's very laddie, yeah. So we spent part of it like in Cork City and part of it on the island having a barbecue. It was quite chill. It was a nice stag to be at because you went out and you partied, and then we went back, and the next day we were able to like have a bit of food, do a few drinks, but like because it was like Cork City and then coast of Cork are so far away from each other. It was like a 2-hour drive, so we had a lot of time. Like we got obsessed with this game, where it got extremely competitive, very very quick, about seeing tractors. And if you see tractor, you have to shout tractor. If you see 5 tractors in a row, you go tractor factor. And we were scouting out the roads for like tractors. We were looking at the fields. We weren't making conversation with each other because we were staff. And if someone seen a tractor that no one else saw, we were no, that doesn't count. That does not count. And it got very very competitive. If you had it's just kind of like group of men. At this stage of our lives, we're men now, and we're screaming about tractors, but it hasn't worn off. Now every time I see a tractor, I go, "There's a tractor there." I get a little bit excited that I see a tractor that no one else has called the tractor out. And if you see something that isn't a tractor, that's -2 points.
I'm starting to think that your ideal stag would be a farm, Mark.
You're not too far off what I said it was. Anyway, but like it was like I don't know. I just think men never grow up, and I guess that's the whole idea. It got extremely competitive, and I haven't told anyone in work about this game because I don't want them to get really really good at it and start beating me at the tractor game. One of the guys he had got nothing all day, and he's like, next time you see a tractor, I'm so far behind this. Can you give it to me? Can you point it out to me now? No. I need one. I need one here. I was like, yeah, okay. But then I got a minus point. So I was at minus points. So I was like, fuck that. He's now winning. He's now beating me. He ain't having any of my tractors. And he finally got a tractor, and then straight away fucked up by calling a wrong tractor. He's like 1, and then he called us another one, and he's like, that's not a tractor. And then he was -2, -1. Like straight away, you fucked it up. So yeah. So what would you think? And it's not a tractor. It's nothing to do with tractors. My ideal stag was. What was the one thing that I said I would want? Actually, first, I think, describe what you think my ideal stag would be. I think, not the one thing.
Initially, when you said it, I thought maybe your ideal stag would be like literally just a bunch of lads in a fucking forest somewhere.
Bunch of lads in I hate the outdoors. I'm like a creature of comfort, Ken. I am
that's
like,
what I thought you were.
like, unless this like fires have like somewhere like with insulated windows and like a nice comfy bed lying, like
like a glamping kind of thing.
Yeah, I've done the whole glamping thing. There's one thing I would like, but wouldn't be a stag thing. We like on me and Mrs. going off somewhere. It's like you can stay in this like globe and you can look out over the stars, and it's apparently meant to be heated. Rather than
we done that in Iceland.
Oh, that would be amazing. Was it warm in it though? I imagine Iceland's quite cold.
We stayed in this like little fucking cabin in the like literally in fucking nowhere. Like we got a taxi out to it, and the taxi driver was like, "This the place?" We're like, "Yeah."
This is the place. Get out.
And then we were like, "You come back to get us tomorrow." And he was like, "Yeah." And we're like, "Definitely, like 100%, you're going to come back and get us tomorrow." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, tomorrow. No, yeah, and yeah, it was cool. I'd probably stay out of it. I imagine what the locals do is stick like a little GoPro somewhere, so they just film all the couples raiding.
Like there wasn't even locals. There was like it was fucking nothing. It's like literally just a cabin.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing around it. A cabin in the middle of nowhere, and the guy who owned it, he like left, like well, there was maybe like 3 cabins, so like there was like a communal kitchen and stuff. So he had like stocked up the fridge with shit and stuff, and he had a TV that had Netflix on it. And that was it.
All right, great. In case you get bored of the natural surroundings and you just want to
Yeah, that was literally all you had was just a TV, with only Netflix. You had a heater and a communal kitchen.
Yeah, one of the funniest things when I was over in Iceland, was the glaciers you can go off. So we were over there and we're looking for things to do, and we're like, one of my friends wants to see one of the glaciers and go kind of climbing, and I was kind of like, fucking go on these fucking tours. Fuck that. Let's just go ourselves and we'll have a wander around. Fuck all these like tour shite things. We end up going with the tour, and then we got chatting to like the guy who was like leading us along the tour. And he's like, yeah, every like week we get some fucking tourists come up here who go off by themselves, and then they get injured, and we have to go up and fucking rescue them. Like they fall down like a fucking Moulin Rouge or whatever. Not Moulin Rouge. There's something in Moulin Rouge though. A Mulan. Is it Mulan? Something the water swirls around and basically creates a tunnel, and they get trapped in that, or else they slip on the rock and hit their head. And
the whirlpool.
Yeah, but it's a French word, and I think it's a Mulan. I think it's Mulan.
Mulan is like a fucking house or something.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's this French word. Anyway, he said it. Or me and the guy I went with were just looking at each other going, we were literally talking about doing this like 2 days ago. So people in glass houses probably shouldn't throw the stones.
You're actually right. A Mulan is a vertical shaft in a glacier formed by a crack in the ice. There you go.
There you go. Learn something on my holidays.
There you go.
No, like I be honest. Like I said, I don't like the idea. Like I'm not getting married, so I'm not going to organize a stag for myself. And like they're all saying, because they're quite outdoorsy, so they're like saying about like having a spit on a fire, and you're gonna like have to go over like somewhere in Texas, and they have a big fucking barbecue with all their family, and they have beers, and that was theirs. Another guy was like go to a concert somewhere like Thailand and like see a load of rock acts, and I don't know what the other guys were, and I was just like, I don't know, lads. I don't think I'm going to get married. And so they went on to the next person. Then the first thing that came into my head was a magician. Because I thought it was funny to say, I want a magician at my stag. And you know, I don't think I think most of them don't get when I'm taking the piss or making a joke about anything. And generally, if someone doesn't understand I'm telling a joke or I'm actually being sarcastic, I just go along with it, because you shouldn't have to explain a joke. So it's just like for an entire trip, and they're like, Mark, repeat what you want on your stag. And I was like, a magician? And so it went from like, oh, I thought you meant like Darren Brown or like a big kind of go to Las Vegas. And I was like, no. Just any magician, just a house magician would do. And a castle. I'd like to go to a castle too. I was like, a castle and a magician, and I'd be sorted.
A bouncy castle.
Yeah, because we're going up to Cork, and there's a few castles in Cork, and there's on the way there's a few, and it's like one of the guys, I was like, oh, I really love castles, and I go, yeah, me too. So they're like, so your ideal stag is a magician and a castle. This is beginning to sound like a 5-year-old's birthday party. I was like, oh, well, Quasar would be pretty cool. Zap.
So what you want is you want Merlin, and you can be King Arthur.
Basically,
and the people at the stag can be the Knights of the Round Table.
Basically, I want my stag to be a recreation of my 9th birthday. This would maybe more drink. And midgets, maybe.
That's doable.
Yeah. Would you? So if you were to design a Ken stag, I know like you've already got married, but like if someone forced you to have a stag, what would be the Ken stag?
I really don't know. Like, probably just go somewhere and just drink. Just go to a pub.
Just go to a pub, any pub.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, you see, like a lot of lads, like I just like once again, I never really thought about it, so I never really thought what a stag was. But what they were describing didn't sound like a stag either. Like one of them said he was going to invite his family to a barbecue in Texas, and I was like, that sounds like a family holiday.
Like any stag that I know of, like it's just a bunch of lads. Like the last stag I heard of somebody going on, a bunch of lads just went to Liverpool.
Yeah, like I generally think that's generally what stags are. You go.
Yeah, so let's cut out the travelling. If you cut out the travelling, you've got more money for drink. So let's just go to the pub.
I think the idea of a stag, is kind of like this is the last night out that we're going to be able to have with our friends because I'm getting married and the wife won't let me go out anymore. And I don't like the idea of having that thing celebrated. I think I'm be like, hey, I still am going to go out and see with these guys most times a week. So I don't like the idea of what a stag's probably meant to represent of like this last time of us being able to go out and see each other, which is generally not the case.
Yeah, I don't really understand the purpose of it.
Yeah, well, I think the original idea, how it was depicted maybe in movies or maybe people talked to it, was like your one last night of being a single man. Well, you're not a single man. You've been in a relationship probably for the last few years.
Yeah, I don't get what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think it's like this one last night of like infidelity before you settle
your last
down.
night, like surely your last night of being a single man, you met your wife.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, you want to relive being a single man? Why would pull yourself off with like a sock?
yeah, there you go. That's all a stag party is. Just
Yeah.
everybody just stays home.
You go to a hotel and you watch Netflix by yourself. Put yourself to sleep, pull yourself off, and then off you go.
Yeah, then you're done.
You wake back up and maybe see if any of your friends want to come out and play.
I also don't understand. You know, like in movies and stuff, you see they always go on the stag the night before the wedding.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Like, I think if you're doing that, you are not getting married.
Well, I don't know. We managed to we were out drinking till 3:00 in the morning. We managed to make a Jameson tour for 9:30. We didn't actually make that tour. We had to change it.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, did we make
like
that
if
tour?
you show up,
No,
if
we
you
didn't.
show up to your wedding, like, and you look like you've been dragged arse backwards through a hedge, like, she's not going to marry you.
Well, she for sickness and in health. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the vow that she's making from then on. Not from the past.
Yeah, like I think most people are and most people that said none of them was like a while. Well, it's kind of surprised. I wasn't like, oh, we'll get a load of like hookers and we'll get like a big load of drugs and we'll go to a house and we'll fucking have a everyone was like kind of like very tame. Was kind of like, oh, we're just gonna kind of hang out and have drinks. It was like someone said, oh, probably just this stag on a bigger scale, like just have a barbecue somewhere kind of exotic. So like
somewhere exotic.
Yeah, I think like money. No, I think one of the guys said he said like doing like a rally or something like that. He'd like to do because he did a Mongol rally. He went to like Mongolia in a 1 liter car. So
I know you said that,
yeah. So he was like, I'd like to do something cool like that. And I was kind of like, that's pretty cool. Wouldn't be my ideal of a holiday or a good time, but like, yeah, different strokes, different folks. I'll stick to my magician and laser tag.
Laser and your bouncy castle.
And bouncy castle. Hopefully there's face painting.
And then there's Supermax at the end.
Oh yeah. Sometimes the Quasar places have their own kind of like sausage and chips. Some of them could be pretty good.
Bowling, maybe some bowling.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Some
What a good
amusement.
day out. Yeah, what a good day out. So, Stranger Things is back. This is a series that I think we both like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I like Stranger Things, but I've absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on.
yeah, and you know, one of the songs that was kind of featured quite heavily is by Kate Bush. It's called "Running Up That Hill." It's from 1985. This was her savior of her career, basically, because she had some big songs in her early career. At 19, I think she wrote she had a number one single with some song. Again, is it escaping me now? And ever since then, she's kind of like real creative, and she wanted to go in different angles and try different types of music, and it hadn't really worked. And every single or every album would get less and less in the charts, go further and further back, and it was costing EMI thousands to fucking to actually make this album. It cost them $1,000 a day, and she was spending like 15-hour days recording this, and this went on for months. So it ended up costing them a bomb and not do as good as they probably hoped. So they're kind of getting fed up with her, and they're like, "Fuck off!" Like, after this could be it for you. Like, if this isn't like success, you're gone, kind of thing. We mightn't actually release it. They have all contracts have they don't have to accept the album. They can return the album if they're not happy with it. So like, if they listen to it and go, "This is a pile of garbage," have it back. We're not paying for this. And her previous album came very, very close to being that. And she's a bit of a kind of odd character. She doesn't like releasing any of her songs. She doesn't like letting movies or TV series use or sample any of her music in the show. But when Stranger Things came along and the idea of Stranger Things was floated to her, she really liked the idea of the show. And when she's seen what the show was about and seen a bit, kind of a few cuts, she actually allowed them to use "Running Up That Hill." And it was I think it was the only song that or only TV series that she's ever allowed anyone use any of her music on.
Like, I don't know too much about Kate Bush, except that she's Kate Bush.
Yeah, she's only had she's only had one UK hit number one, and "Run About That Hill" I think came second or third, so didn't actually make it to number one. So there's a push now on to make Kate Bush number one on iTunes and Spotify. Currently, I checked this. We went to record a show yesterday, Wednesday. So I looked at this, and currently, globally, she's the fourth most streamed song on Spotify. She's second in Ireland on the charts of most streamed song on Spotify. She's number one on iTunes already. So she's already she's getting there to the number one spot. I'd be surprised today if she wasn't number one. So it's just like, I think a load of Stranger Things fans got by, heard about, or just kind of like it from the show. It plays a kind of key role in Stranger Things throughout the first season. You hear quite a lot of it. I think is not the theme song. Is that do? I'm nearly certain.
I know. I've only watched the first episode, so I have no idea.
All right, so we'll listen to "Run Up the Hill." You'll hear it throughout the show.
Listen out for Kate Bush.
Yeah, Kate Bush. So like she there's now a push to make this album number one. She did re-release the album a few years ago, remixed it and released it in the noughties, and it did all right. I don't think it got to number one, but again, there's a huge kind of push to get her to number one. I think it will happen. It's kind of pity that they didn't bring it as close to Christmas, because they would probably like trying to get her to number one for Christmas. But you know, number one in the summer, it's probably still as good.
She has 10 albums. All of her albums have gone into the top 10.
Now?
No, like just when they were released. Every one of her albums is top 10.
I thought one of her albums was top 11. Maybe it was a single came out from the album. It was 11.
No, it says here all 10 of her studio albums reached the top 10.
Yeah. Oh,
She had 3 number ones.
she had 3 number ones.
Three number one albums.
I'm getting my facts all wrong. Don't believe anything I just said, other than the fact that she's number one currently on iTunes from
She's the first British solo female artist to top the album charts and the first female artist to enter a chart at number 1.
Well done, Miss Bush.
There we go, Kate Bush.
She built actually a recording studio for Run Up That Hill in her parents' barn, because it was costing the studio so much money to like rent out a studio in London and have like a sound engineer there, that she just built her own, paid for it out of her own pocket, so she could have her creative freedom. She could take her time making this album and not be under any financial difficulty, and EMI weren't going to be out of pocket. Yeah. But yeah, the other kind of story that I had on Stranger Things is that 11 is the main character in that. She's a little girl who comes up, and she's called 11 because of the kind of place she's brought and she's tested on number all the kids, and she is 11. She was 11th one, and that's where her name 11 comes from. And she has a tattoo on her wrist of her number 11, and people are getting copycat tattoos of 11. But now people are coming out saying, stop getting tattoos of 11 or any number on your arm, because it's what the Holocaust would do to number of people in the concentration camps.
Oh.
And it's like apparently a reminder of the World War or of concentration camps. But like, so someone has put out, said like they used to do that on their hands and feet and didn't tattoo the wrist. Well, I don't know. I remember talking to a guy and he said his grandmother had one on her arm. It was on her arm, not her wrist. But like anyway, I thought that was kind of like get over it. It's only a number from it. Like, if people are getting an 11 tattoo, it's not to do with the Holocaust. It's to do with fucking Stranger Things or a Stranger Things fan.
Well, like, people get numbers tattooed on themselves all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Number 13, for instance. You get a free 13 tattoo on Friday 13th.
Yeah, or people get, like, dates tattooed. Like, there's loads of stuff. Like, we won't start.
Do you know what, Ken? We've got through the show, and I don't think we even have time for Obi-Wan Kenobi talking about that.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best, because you know what? I don't think it would go any place. Ken's not a huge fan, even though he's a stereotypical fan of it. I just like to show, like, I just think all their new stuff is class. Like, I don't think they made a bad thing wrong, but I guess if you're not a fan of it, like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like anything star based or anything.
Yeah, you don't like
spacey.
space. I love space. It's one of the biggest things we fall out on.
Yeah, I don't get the obsession with it.
Anyway, maybe we'll have this discussion next week. If we can't find any more stories, I will bring up space and Star Wars, and we will get to the bottom of why Ken doesn't like space. But until then, we'll talk to you next week. Back with our show. See you.
Good luck.
No.